What is the creepiest thing that society accepts as a cultural norm? I don't know what you all find creepy, but my creepiest one is the Ace family. Look it up on YouTube, Instagram. They post too much personal info, from childbirth to having meals. I find it very creepy. There are a lot of these vlogger YouTube families. They also keep having babies as it gets them more views/money every time a pregnancy is announced. It's all very public and disturbing. Snap Map on Snapchat. Most people don't turn it off and you can just see where a person is and where they live and the last they were on Snapchat. I read Snapman and then read the rest of your post with fear that a Snapman is some creature that knows where you are and is stalking. The Snapman is watching you right now, outside. Stop. New creepypasta. The Snapman, he stalks people who use Snapchat during the witching hour. I'm the Snapman. Snap, bap, bap, boo, bap, bap. Televangelists, these people should not be out in the wild. Controlling, manipulating, molding their audience to give as much as they can as the Lord has spoken to them and they require a new Learjet. All psychological showmen and their target audience laps it all up and defends their every action with gusto. Being charged with being a beast? They were doing God's work but they also needed that new mansion to stop the flood. Give now so you can get in the pearly gates with Q Jumper. How they are allowed to peddle their biblical fanfiction nonsense to the impressionable actually makes them beyond creepy. I'm European, and I think it might make people uncomfortable how okay I am with nudity. I think the world would be a better place if nudity stopped being so vilified. Like, we're born naked. Simply being naked doesn't have to be sexual. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it still often is. Even in places it's culturally acceptable, it's generally not true that no one is ever sexually enjoying it in certain times it's happening. It's like even clothed beaches. The outfits might not be to be sexual, but if it's a crowded beach there's always people looking around from time to time in a sexual way. What the thing is that people have to accept that something being mildly sexual doesn't have to be a big deal. A lot of people are in denial about the sexual element of certain things. Shaming people, particularly children, for having certain diseases or needing medical care. Mental health, for example depression, springs to mind, but complex disorders like epilepsy, cystic fibrosis, or even endometriosis invite inappropriate public comment. Patients are told they are lazy, liars, or should just die for being disabled. I worked at a health science/hospital center where we had public protesters every time a healthcare issue made the news. It was creepy and felt dangerous, volatile. Child marriage. Only 34 states have a minimal marriage age in the US. There really needs to be a federal law on this. My state is proposing a bill to establish 16 as the minimum age and so many people on local news pages do not understand what this legislation is about. Most think it's basically encouraging 16-year to get married and haven't ever even begun to fathom child brides. We even have a disgusting fairly local story about a child predator marrying his victim at 14 because there was no minimum age and her parents were easily manipulated. This should be a common sense, no-brainer law on a federal level for sure. Making kids be affectionate when they don't want to. The whole idea of give them a hug goodbye. Or give grandma a kiss. Screw that. I never made my kid do anything like that. I don't care whose feelings got hurt. I hate this. I asked my kids to wave goodbye or even just say bye or hi is good enough. Had my partner's sister-in-law stand at my door and made her kid give my kids a kiss. My kids were not particularly fond of it. Just spreading germs. Nudity not allowed on TV, but graphic violent deaths are. Adult women having sex with or lusting after teenage boys. A very close friend of mine had his first time when he was 15 to a 35-year-old woman. He said that she told him she wanted to sleep with him in order to show him how to properly please a woman so that he won't be lost and confused when he gets older. The fact that a grown-ass woman said that to a teenage boy is just vile and disgusting. Like, no dude, she's not showing you shit. She's just being a fucking predator. It made me angry when he told me about it. Pretending that terrible things aren't happening in their community, every night. I don't understand why so many people will let others suffer and die to maintain the illusion that they live in a good neighborhood or stuff like that doesn't happen here instead of taking action to actually have a good community. Circumcision. Hey, here's a perfectly healthy newborn boy, let's lop skin off his most sensitive part. I know some do it for religious reasons, but I hear a woman say she wants him to be like his dad. Makes me wonder if the dad lost a finger by accident, would she want the kid's finger chopped off so they match?